A Ripple IPO? Not a chance. They just got 500 million from their friends, and it has nothing to do with XRP. But XRP has to do with, some ETFs that have been modified. So if the government stays shut down, they automatically get approved. We're going to talk about the the $40 billion valuation from Ripple, XRP price, Solana hbar ETFs, along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Now, some of the tard cards out there like Smoke, I've brought it up plenty of times, so this dude's a total D-bag, thinks Ripple's gonna plan to go IPO in 2026. No, because they just got another $40 billion valuation and got 500 million from two players. I told you, they're gonna stay private so that they can control everything. I don't understand the hopium bullshit out here. Oh, they're gonna go up here. Shut up. No, they're not. Again and again, Ripple keeps saying, we're gonna stay private. And then they raised a private funding round. We'll talk about that later. Now, before we talk about the real news, and also the updated odds on when the government shutdown is gonna end, whoa, you need to see these numbers. Your comments come first. Why? Because my wife's not here. David Pennington says, choo-choo, Klaus. Who do you trust in the cryptosphere? I listen to you and Mickle. Well, thank you. Who else do you listen to? Down below. Let me know who your favorites are in this space. And it better not be Smoke Dog on Twitter, because this dude posts every sort of fucking lie that there is. Come on now. 500 million raised by two companies. 40 billion valuation. They're not going IPO, you tard cards. What else do we got? WWKE says, awesome, Klaus. DJ Klaus is always there for you. I've been mixing a little music in the videos. And even in the worst of times, he'll cheer you up. Yes, I will. And I'm going to be here in the worst of times, too. When the market's red, I'm still bringing you the news 3 times a day. The one and only Klaus. And that's right. It's Santa Claus. And Christmas is my season. So once Thanksgiving's out of the fucking way, I can really get to work. Heat map? Okay. We're rebounding from our lows, but we still got some deep red. Bitcoin 103,178, ETH is 3348, XRP at 226, while BNB's at a sucking 957. Have you looked at ICP lately? $5, down 11%. Interesting. HBAR, bit of a rebound, but we're still at 17 cents. So what's going on right now? $350 million. Rush into Solana and HBAR's ETFs. Okay. So are we learning that these ETFs really don't have any effect on price? I mean, the BTC ETFs have stabilized Bitcoin, but there's really not a direct one-to-one correlation. However, all 3 altcoin ETFs beyond Ethereum have recorded gains yesterday, with Litecoin Spot ETF netting the most modest gains of 1.78 million. But if the price action sucks, then what? You gotta hope you make money on the ETFs. As for HBAR, the spot ETF listed on NASDAQ by Canary Capital gained 68 in cumulative total net flow. But again, the price is down, so we're Meanwhile, things aren't looking nearly as good for the 2 flagship digital assets, BTC and ETH. BTC registered $500 million in outflows on the 4th, while ETH posted 219 million in outflows. Oh, you thought I forgot about the altcoin season? I didn't. I'm just mixing it up. I'm trying to keep it fresh. I'm doing just the tip. Altcoin season index? No, it's Bitcoin season index. Even has a little button right here. 24 out of 100. Outflows, there you go again. Major outflows. In fact, even the inflows have been very weak here over these last 30 days. So you got these ETFs, which are garnering a lot of money. So the issuers are making a lot of money. These are some of them right here. Everything you're seeing in this video, it's all linked to everyone in the description below. Okay, so ETFs, not a one-to-one correlation. Canada pivots to stablecoins. It's a cornerstone of its digital payments reform. Oh, okay. So Canada picks stables, not crypto like you and I are into. Okay. Canada's 2025 federal budget, unveiled on November 4th, places fiat-backed stablecoins at the center of its plan to modernize national payments. This initiative signals a clear policy shift from research on central bank digital currencies towards regulating private digital assets within the country's financial framework. By introducing detailed rules around issuance, redemption, and oversight, blah, 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 the Canadians are using stablecoins. The Bank of Canada will allow 10 million Canadian dollars over two. Okay, so they're not even doing the tip. They're doing like an eyelash or whatever. They're blowing on it. Right? Okay, it's cool. So they're starting, but Canada had a little Gary Gensler problem for a while too. Their version of the SEC wasn't too pro-crypto. So now at least they're jumping into stables a little bit. Let's talk about some ETFs. We just launched the first 2 ETFs last week, and we're hoping to launch an XRP ETF next week, McClurk said during a Ripple Swell panel. Yeah, you know how an ETF is going to be listed? If the government shutdown continues through the 13th. Why? Because they modified their ETF filings to have this thing in there that says, yo, if you don't respond in 20 days, it gets automatically approved. Oh. Now, when is the government shutdown expected to end? Well, we're starting to see some odds change here. All right? Look at this. Some big numbers posted the 8th to the 11th. That's a couple days from now. And then the big one from the 16th on. But look at that. See the 8th to the 11th right here? Check this out. The 8th to the 11th is this orange line. Notice this. See how this orange line has been super, super low here? And then all of a sudden the orange line starts creeping. People are getting optimistic that the shutdown will be over soon. Now, will the government shutdown end by January 31st? Holy shit, it better, with 99% of the people saying, yeah, it will. Check out Polymarket for the latest prop odds on this stuff. Let's get back to those ETFs. A no delay amendment is basically when you become a little bit more comfortable. If you're more comfortable with your filing, which we are, and you file a no delay amendment, that means you can automatically go effective in 20 days, and that's what they're doing with Canary. Now, let's get into this. Ripple raises $500 million at $40 billion valuation. So they sell private shares, right? And they sold I can't talk this morning. $500 million worth of it. Now, because of the number of shares that they sold, the number of shares that are floating around, this is privately. This is not IPO public shit. This is private, okay? They are worth $40 billion as a company. The $500 million raise at $40 billion valuation strengthens Ripple's position in the sector. The investment follows funds from established Wall Street players, signaling strong institutional confidence. Ripple's $500 million strategic investment represents a major endorsement from institutional investors, leadership in blockchain payments, and cryptocurrency infrastructure. Affiliates of Citadel Securities, Fortress Investment Group, and Brevin Howard participated in the funding round. So again, Ripple is going to raise private money. They also did a buyback of their shares. They had another one here recently. So no, they're not going to go IPO. It's just more fake bullshit. Now, the XRP ETF thing is heating up. Race for XRP ETF intensifies, and Franklin Templeton now does it. So it's not just Canary Capital, but Franklin Templeton's like, you know what? We feel pretty good about our listing here, and I think we're going to put that government F-off amendment in there. Franklin Templeton took a key step towards listing a spot XRP ETF with an updated S1, nice, and removed the 8A delay clause that would allow the SEC to control its activation timing. Essentially what they're saying is, we're so confident that everything we're doing and filled out and the way we run this ETF is legit that we're going to get rid of that, 20-day thing. It's the same procedural path issuers used for Bitcoin and spot ETFs earlier this year, which tells the market Franklin Templeton wants to be in the first wave of exchanges for that product in November. Oh, so now you got Canary Capital and Franklin Templeton. In its filing, Franklin Templeton said the XP ETF would trade on the CBOE-BZX exchange, bringing it in line with other spot crypto products. By stripping out the SEC's delay clause, the issuer opened the door for registration to go effective automatically after the waiting period. Frickin' A, man. So now we're going to have 2 of them. But what about XRP price, right? And I think that's what a lot of us here are going. But bro, good news for Ripple as a company. Ripple announced a whole bunch of partnerships. Ripple bought a whole bunch of shit, but the price is being tugged by macros. In the 1-month chart a month ago, we were at $3. We would have loved to be at $3 right now. But with the government shutdown, inflation sucking balls, rates high for too long, the job market sucking wang, and the fact that regs are being pushed out super long because the government's not working, it's putting pressure on the market. Now, that being said, the valuation that Ripple raised, right, the valuation of $40 billion and the $500 million that they raised didn't really have an effect on the price, did it? No, it really didn't. The market is just rebounding from its lows. Now, we saw some crazy lows with XRP, like 207, 206. Ooh, Some people got a steal deal there. Or are we going to be pulling down even lower? Because if the market right now is expecting the government shutdown to end between the 8th and the 11th and it doesn't, well, how would you feel? How would you feel if your spouse was like, yo, I'm going to give you the best loving you've ever had, baby? And you're like sitting at work and you're reading texts and naughty Snapchats, right? Because you're a fun couple like that. And then you get home and your spouse is... And you're like, fuck, dude, do I wake him up? Do I like poke him to be like, hey, what about me? No, see what I'm saying? So if your expectations are increasing that something juicy is going to happen, like a shutdown ending between the 8th and the 11th, and then all of a sudden you, oh shit, then the 11th goes and doesn't happen, the market can poop itself again. See, it's all about expectations versus reality. And it's the same thing with Jerome Powell and the Fed. People right now, the market right now is anticipating that the Fed is going to cut one more time in December. But people in the Fed, Goolsbee and Powell both have been like, I don't know about that. You might not want to be too optimistic. Expectation versus reality. And the reality is right now that the volume for XRP is absolutely nuts at 9.3 billion, but the price sucks balls. So the exchanges are making money while the markets panic. See, the exchanges love this shit. You talk about someone that loves volatility, day traders, momentum traders, along with what? Exchanges, because they make money on that. Oh, and Ripple makes money on raising money. Yeah, so now they have more cash. They're probably going to use that cash to buy another company. Partnerships. But we're not seeing that translate to XRP price. Heck, we're not seeing the Solana or hbar ETFs translate to price. It's still early. Yeah, I get it. I'm hoping that they bring a stability down the road, but for right now, the only people making money are the banks, the issuers, and the exchanges. Oh yeah, and Ripple's making money too because they raised a lot of money. Okay, so Ripple raises a bunch of money, the ETFs go live, and the market's like, we really don't care. Yeah, they don't care about that stuff. The market does care about the shutdown because think, what is our biggest thing, our biggest bullish thing that we have right now? It's reg-a-ronies. Well, you can't get reg-a-ronies if the people that write the reg-a-ronies are still shut down arguing about funding. So, just throwing it out there, what do? We just got to wait, right? And we have to hope that this government shutdown doesn't kill reg-a-ronies. Because here's the problem, everyone. Here's the problem. Remember, my job is to bring you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. Not to fill you up with hopium and lie like Smoke Dog does. Like, all of the posts lie. Go back. Seriously, go to that Twitter account and, like, go back a few months and see how many of these things are just utter bullshit lies. It's nuts. And yet they get paid for it. It's wild. But think about this. You got midterm elections coming up here soon. Oh, and the Democrats want to take the control away from the Republicans that have control of all three, right? So when we start getting closer to that midterm election, what do you think these politicians are going to do? That's right, they're not going to work. They don't work now, but they're not going to work even more because they're going to worry about getting reelected. No. Here's the problem. If they're worrying about getting reelected, guess what they're not going to do? They're not going to work on legislation. Shit. Which means that government shutdown keeps pushing things out. Things like reg-a-ronies, the chance of them happening gets down, and down because they're running up to this invisible deadline. Which is we're politicians. We need to, like, politicianize for our jobs. I just made that fucking word up, okay? So we got to be careful. Because if that government shutdown extends, and remember, this shutdown that we're dealing with right now has a temporary funding clause in it. Which says, we're only going to fund the government for maybe another month, maybe a few weeks. The bill that they're voting on now is for funding through November 21st. Garmin? Oh, yeah, that's just a couple weeks away. Shit. Which means we would have to go through this poop sandwich all over again, which means what? You wouldn't get regs going on again. See, and that's what we got to worry about right now. So you got rates. Might not be coming down anymore this year because we're not getting data. Why are we not getting data like, Bureau of Labor Statistics stuff, housing reports, all this kind of stuff, job stuff? Because the government shut down. So there's no funding for those reports. So again, it's all based on the shutdown. Now, the recent odds have it picking up a little bit from the 8th to the 11th. Oh, that would be freaking great. The market would roar. The only problem is if they don't change the date, we're back at this shit on the 21st of November. Happy Thanksgiving? Are we going to see the post? This is what I'm thankful for, and it's like a whole bunch of stupid shit. I don't know. I want to be thankful for reg-a-ronies. I would also be very thankful if we got a whole entirely new government, because these fuckers aren't working. They're simply not. They're just trying to do what they can to increase their pocketbook. See, these politicians aren't going IPO. They're for sale already by private entities. We've seen that. Ripple's not going IPO either because they just got money from private entities. A lot of money, $500 million. It's all about getting money and making money, of which the exchanges are making tons because holy shit, volume is nuts. But what about those ETFs, right? Are they going to be a big nothing burger for the alts? I mean, they did bring stability to Bitcoin, but the reality is Bitcoin still moves more on what? On macros. Macros? ETFs. ETFs are way down here. See, they're almost like out of frame. Choo-choo what? Oh, I'm sorry. You can't see because your eyesight is not good? Maybe you're my dad. I got a sign on behind me. Yes, I have a sign. I paid for the sign. It's an LED sign. It's really cool. Choo-choo what? Well, the sign says it behind me. Oh, you can't read? Oh, I'm sorry. You can't read? I'll say it for you. Choo-choo poop. No, see, you can't read. So you believe me right there. It doesn't say choo-choo poop. It actually says choo-choo bitches.